Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel for another video today. You are seeing this outfit twice in this background. This is my daughter's room. How fun is this? Have you seen this before? You might have. These are stickers. These are wall stickers that when I was 9 months pregnant with her, I very intricately placed on every single little spot. All of these stickers. I did that. I wouldn't do it again. Don't recommend. But anyway, I'm filming another video right after, that's not going to work, right after I filmed the last video that I was getting super saucy in, then I clicked record again and we're doing it again. So hopefully this one's not as saucy because I'm sure I haven't posted it yet. So I don't know if y'all were mean about it, but you might have been. So anyway, okay. What are we talking about today, Brittany? Get on subject. Today we are talking about compounding pharmacies, telehealth companies, and how to pick one. As most of you know, I recently switched to compound tirzepatide or Mounjaro after being on it for 15 or 16 months. I was on the branded Mounjaro. I lost 83 pounds over the course of that time from November 2023 until the end of March 2024. November 2022 to end of March 2024. I lost 83 pounds before switching to compound. And technically I haven't even at this point taken a compound shot before or yet, but I have gotten it. I've chosen a telehealth company and I have gone through that whole process. And in that process, I did a ton of research. Now, I'm going to give you guys some tips today on how to choose a telehealth company, but more importantly on how to choose a compounding pharmacy. And I guess a lot of that has to do with which telehealth company you choose. So all of the information that I'm going to share with you guys today came from my personal research, but also from the mouth of a telehealth provider, not one that I use and not one that I pay any dollars. This is actually my cousin's wife, so my cousin-in-law. She is a PA and a telehealth provider out of Washington. She started a med health clinic up there by herself. She's like the owner operator of it. And so I did a lot of talking to her about this entire subject as well. And so I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of the information that she gave me too. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. If I sound different, my allergies are struggling right now. Like me and them are fighting. So sorry about that. I'll try to not like sniffle too much and all of that, but let's jump into it. So right now, there are 9 gazillion telehealth companies that you could choose to provide your Mounjaro tirzepatide semaglutide. So it would be tirzepatide or semaglutide if you're doing the compounded form. There are a lot of them. There are new ones popping up every single day. And majority of the reputable ones all use the same few pharmacies. And that's actually what you want. And that's actually what makes the decision to choose a provider a lot easier, because the decision to choose a provider really all boils down to what you want out of that provider. So for instance, there are some companies that charge a monthly fee. So there's some that you have to pay. Most often it's $99 per month. And that usually will get you like a check-in with the provider and access to a bunch of other like support options that they have within their company. Most of them have a Facebook group. Most of them have like advocate support numbers that you can shoot off text to if you're having issues. And that's kind of all included within that $99 monthly subscription cost. So some charge that. In fact, also most do, from what I've read. There are a few that do not. So the one that I personally use, Orderly Meds, does not charge a monthly subscription fee. However, the cost of their medication is slightly higher. So it almost cancels out, but it is still a little bit more cost effective. Another difference is that many telehealth companies increase the cost of your medicine as you increase in dosage. So for example, the lower doses might cost you $189 a month, and then it can go all the way up to $299 plus per month. I've seen it as high as $349 a month for like the 12.5, 15 milligram dosages. And that's unfortunate when you get up to a higher dose and you're paying $349 a month, let's say, and then you're paying another $100 a month subscription fee. So you're paying $450 a month. And at that point, is that really worth the cost difference of paying for regular Mounjaro with the coupon code, which runs you anywhere from $450 to $550 a month? So you really have to sit down and like crunch numbers and figure it up. Like, once I get up to a higher dose, is this going to be worth it? Now, there also are a few telehealth companies that do not change the cost of your medication based on the dosage. So there are two that I know of. Orderly is one. So Orderly is who I use again, and they do not charge a difference. Now, the downside of that is that you're paying the $399 even for the lower dose, but you pay the $399 flat. You do not pay a monthly subscription fee, and you pay $399 when you're at 2.5, and you pay $399 when you're at 15. And so that does make it a little bit easier when you get to maintenance, because they do offer, Orderly does, maintenance, not maintenance pricing, but maintenance scheduling. So they will allow you, once you're in maintenance, if you like talk to your provider, to spread out your shipments so that you're not paying as much. And that's actually something that I just learned about them. That's not something I even knew when I signed up. So that's some new information that I'm sharing that I didn't share in my last video. I actually saw that mentioned on their Facebook group. And so I reached out to my provider text number that I had for them, and they did confirm that for. So essentially you're able to spread it out a little bit, your shipments, so that you're not paying as much when you get to a higher dose. So that could be really, really efficient for being on maintenance with them. But I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. I don't work with them. I don't, they don't even know. I mean, I guess they know who I am, but they don't like know that I do this or talk about them or anything like that. I do have a link that is in my description box that I will share with you guys, where if you sign up through that link, you get a credit and I get a credit, but they give that to everybody that signs up. So like, you could sign up and give the link to your mom, and then you would get a credit if she signed up. So it's not like a through YouTube thing, but I will leave that link down below. And if you purchase through that link, then it really helps me. And then you get a $50 credit as well. So just putting that out there. I will leave that down below. But, so yeah, that is one good thing about Orderly, is that they do offer the maintenance, things. And I'm not sure if any other ones do, but essentially, again, when you're picking a telehealth provider, you want to pick one that has the level of care that you are desiring. So for me personally, I don't want a ton of involvement in that way from my telehealth company, because I have a doctor that does that. If you are somebody who is going to be needing the support, and this is the only physician that is following your journey, then maybe Orderly's not for you. Although I think that they would do that. Like, you have as much access to them as you need. You have a text number you can text them with, but they don't require anything. Whereas some of the other ones require like blood work and follow-up visits regularly. And I can do all of that with my regular doctor. So if you're looking for a lot of support, I've heard that Join Fridays is good. Amble, I've heard Moki Health is good. Although Moki Health is a little bit finicky on your BMI and what it is when you get approved. If you've already been on it, then you have to like go through this process of proving that you had the higher BMI and all of that, which I mean, I guess is doable. It's just not something that I did personally. So Moki is another one that I hear is really good. In fact, the first time that I reached out to my cousin-in-law about this was when I was considering going on Compound like a year ago, when the $25 coupon expired. And at that time, she was only licensed to do a few different states with the way her business was set up, and she actually recommended Moki. So Moki is a good option as well. Now, all of the ones that I mentioned to you use the appropriate pharmacies. we're going to talk about what you want to look for in a pharmacy. So you want one that is 503A certified. They have to be 503A certified, because if they're not 503A, they can't be like 503B. 503A means that they are certified under the FDA regulations, like they've passed the tests to be able to mix sterile injectables into your body. 503B means that they can do that and send those to hospitals like NICUs and nursing homes and all of that. Like they have an extra sort of level of sterility. Although 503A facilities and 503B facilities are two separate buildings within a pharmacy. So most often, like at Hallandale, they have two separate buildings. So you are okay if it's just 503A. It just means that they haven't taken it that step further to send them off in that way. But 503A, it needs to be done. All of the ones online that you see that are mixing like with salt mixtures are not those pharmacies. So they are not Hallandale or Red Rock or Emerge, or there's a couple of other ones. Honestly, the two biggest ones are Hallandale and Red Rock. Emerge has been pretty highly regarded as well. You are going to find people online that have hit or miss with all of them, with everything, with everything ever, right? So there are people that'll say Red Rocks didn't work for me, or Hallandale's didn't work for me, or whatever. Take it with a grain of salt. You won't know unless you try, right? But both of those compounding pharmacies are very highly regarded. They have top FDA certifications. And while they are not FDA approved, they are FDA regulated. That's a myth that I wanted to discuss. So the difference is they're not FDA approved to mix tirzepatide or Mounjaro. However, they are FDA regulated because they are approved or certified to mix injectables. So compounding pharmacies are not FDA approved to mix anything. They are regulated by the FDA, and they are legally able to mix these compounds under their FDA regulation because of the national shortages. Does that make sense? They have, since Mounjaro or tirzepatide is on the national shortage list, they are able to use the exact formulation that Eli Lilly uses. And they will be able to do that until Eli Lilly proves that they're not on the shortage list anymore. And to take that even a step further, Mounjaro or Eli Lilly does not own a patent on tirzepatide peptides. Peptides are there. Nobody owns patents on any peptide. They own a patent on the name Mounjaro and on the pen. So swallow that down, because there's a lot of myths about all of that. I mean, you can literally go on a Reddit thread and get a lot of accurate information from like doctors that chime in, like that are trying to get this stuff out. Like, this is not right. Stop telling people this. Stop believing this. That was what my whole last video was on. But anyway, they don't own the patent on it. So it takes it even a step further that Red Rock and Hallandale for sure use like the same peptides. So there's that. Now, as far as what my cousin-in-law was saying, she was saying that when I messaged her this last time, it was when I was thinking of using Orderly Meds, and I shot a message to her like, have you heard of them? And also, have you heard of these pharmacies? Because these are the pharmacies they use. And she messaged me back within like 30 minutes and said that she had not specifically heard of Orderly, but there's, again, every day there's new ones. But she personally uses Red Rock and Hallandale, and Red Rock specifically is best for higher dosaging. And she said it's something about the formulation that they use, or the formula they use in mixing, that her patients have had significantly more success on higher dosages when they come from Red Rock versus when they come from anywhere else. And that is actually something that I saw repeated a few times within different Reddit threads as well. There's a really good tirzepatide compound subreddit that would be like amazing to go follow. There's a lot of people in there that talk about different telehealth companies they use, experiences with them. If you're searching for one, that's a really good place to start because you can just type it in the search bar of the subreddit and get a lot of really good results and personal experiences on that. Because me personally, I love to read personal experiences in addition to statistical data so that I can make an informed decision and not just on one piece of the pie, if that makes sense. So overall, when you're looking for a telehealth provider, it's up to two things: how much involvement you want and how much you want to pay. So if you don't want something that has a monthly subscription fee, then that is definitely something. There are a few companies out there that don't require that. If you want a lot of involvement, then there are some that are better than others. You really just need to do research and figure out what their like monthly requirements are. Do you have to have a virtual visit every month and all of that? If you are somebody who has a doctor and you don't want them to be so much involved and they're just the source to write the prescription, then there's definitely several options for that as well. Now, somebody commented on my like compounding announcement video asking if my doctor could not just write the prescription and send it to Red Rock. Most often that's not cheaper because the telehealth companies actually like contract with them to get a discounted rate when they're ordering so many through them. Whereas if you go specifically through one person from doctor to pharmacy, you don't get that contracted price or whatever. So it is more expensive because at Orderly, everybody pays that same amount. If you just go that way, they can charge you whatever the heck they want to charge you. So those are the two issues with that. The price isn't going to be the same. And a lot of doctors actually are not comfortable, or not comfortable, but they don't do that. They just don't mess with that. And it's not necessarily that they don't believe in it. They just keep it a lot more simple in life, which I can get on that with as many times doctors get blamed for things. I understand where they're coming from with that. So that's kind of what my answer about that is. I didn't even ask my doctor because after doing a lot of research on it, that's kind of the conclusion that I came to. But he does know that I'm doing it and he does approve of it and is going to still follow me. And I never even asked him to write it. So, so there's that. So telehealth, it's all based on the cost and how much involvement you want. But you do need to make sure they use one of the reputable pharmacies that are not using a salt mixture to reformulate the peptides. Those are the ones that you see online that that Eli Lilly is suing over, are the ones that are using the salt-based mixtures, and those can be harmful to your body. So please make sure that they're not doing one of those. I know 100% that Red Rock and Hallandale are not. Red Rock, I know this because that's where mine comes from, but they use a mixture of sterile water and alcohol, and the alcohol is just to prevent bacteria from growing, and then the sterile water and the peptide itself, the peptide in its natural form that they get from the same place. So there's that little spiel there. Again, if you want to check out Orderly, there's a link in the description box. I would much appreciate a credit on my next purchase because anywhere you go, it's not cheap. And I thank you guys all so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it informed you a little bit, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.